Hey everybody, this is Pedro Cortes from Tomopop bringing you another review. Now, if you're thinking this is going to be a One Piece review, you're right. I know I have the reputation for covering One Piece stuff, so I'm not going to disappoint you, but it's not going to be quite what you normally think. Now, normally I review the Portrait of Pirates line of figures, but here's the thing. Portrait of Pirates, as wonderful as they are, have a kind of a major flaw in that A, they're difficult to get, but they're also expensive. Now we're talking about, after conversion rates, between $80 to $100. Now, not everybody can be able to afford that, you know, sometimes twice a month. So for a while, there's been kind of this vacuum where, you know, you want some One Piece merchandise, but you can't afford these high-end figures. And you don't want, you know, a trading figure or something that's going to be, that's not quite the quality of something that's, you know, a little higher range. Now, thankfully, Bandai has come out with a line, their Figuarts line, which if you're familiar with Kamen Rider, a lot of Kamen Rider figures are there. But they also have the Figuarts Zero line with static One Piece figures of various characters, both new and old. And thanks to our awesome sponsors at Bluefin, I have the pleasure of bringing you several Figuarts Zero, which you'll see in a moment. Now, quick little heads up, the Figuarts line are drastically cheaper than their Portrait of Pirate cousins. The most expensive one that I'll show you is 3,000 yen, while the least expensive is 1,800 yen. So these are way more likely to be able to fit into somebody's budget. So with that little note, let's get right to the review. Alright, let's start with the first figure. We're looking at, we're going to look at Monkey D. Luffy. This is his box. As you can see, it is rather nice looking. I actually like these boxes. They're very, they have more design to it than even than Portrait of Pirates or just about any other type of One Piece figure out there. Give you a nice little look around and how Luffy looks. And nice little design on the box. Alright, and now you have Luffy himself. Now, what's kind of interesting about this here is you have, for essentially what is a lower price figure, you have actually surprisingly quite a bit of options. You have Luffy standing here with a red jacket, and you have an additional head. To get the jacket off, all you have to do is pop off the head, move it, and put on his other saucy face. See, it's all a peg and a hole. A little harder to pull. Okay, here you go. And there you go. You have him looking like so. But at least the way that I like to have my figures, I always like keeping all of the additional accessories on it, because why spend the money on a toy if you're not going to properly display it? So I'll put it on here. Okay, and what can I say about this? This is a very excellent $20 figure. It's not going to be as detailed as the Portrait of Pirates Luffy that I reviewed a little while back, but you know what? You're paying a fraction of the cost, and for that fraction, you get nice little bits of detail here. I mean, you get stitching on the coat, you get the way that the sleeves are flowing, you get nice little shoulder straps here, and you get goofy little expression, his cockiness. And you also have a nice little base here with his quote, which I cannot translate, but I'm going to assume it has something to do with becoming the Pirate King, because what other thing would Luffy be obsessing about? Other nice little deets you got here. Nice details on the sandals and the feet. They're not hunks of plastic, which is a nice relief. That's how you know that there is some love and attention paid when their extremities are treated with a certain amount of respect. Alright, so next up we have Shanks' box. As you can see here, it is also fairly well designed, very much in the style of Luffy's. You got nice, interesting text here, little maps. You'll have more detailed shots of Shanks himself. Turn it around, you see that confident smile of his. It's looking good. Spin it around, you'll see a nice little photo of the two of them, of Luffy and Shanks chilling, relaxing. And back here. Definitely something you're going to see from across across a convention floor or online. I mean, it's nice and bright and red, and definitely is going to catch your eye. Alright, the next figure is Shanks. Now, Shanks is known for giving Luffy the trademarked straw hat that makes him so famous around the world, and, you know, he's one of the strongest people in the world, period. Now, I don't own any other bits of Shanks merchandise, so I don't really have anything to compare it with, but Shanks costs about 2,500 yen, and for the price, again, you're getting a nice little figure here. He comes with the accessory. He comes with a sword, which you have to put into his hand. Now, if you can see here in the video, I took out the guard on his sword, and then I somewhat carefully here take it out. So it comes in 2 pieces. Now, to get it back in, you have to go through the amusing process, and by amusing I mean surprisingly aggravating process of sliding it in through his hand here, and then somehow slipping it in. I'm not going to do it here because it is annoying and time-consuming and difficult to do when you're trying to do it reverse, so I'm going to leave the extra piece here where you can see it. Unlike the other two, his cloak does not come off, which is not surprising because I'm pretty sure that Bandai doesn't want to show you the stump of what's left of his left arm. But yeah, I mean, he has that very confident smile to him. He has his trademark outfit and the open chest. It's not as detailed as the Blackbeard or Martial Teach figure, which I'll be showing you a little bit, but it is bigger than the Luffy, and it has heft to it, which is nice. I like that it's not light. This thing isn't going to topple over like some, you know, cheap price figure. This, solid, and definitely worth the price. All right, the last of the 3 boxes belongs to Martial D. Teach, also known as Blackbeard. And once again, it shares the similarities of the same basic design on the front, and also having additional shots of the character himself. Spin it around, you see the details on, we'll go into in a little bit, about his coat and how it can come off. And you're turning him around. There you go. Some confrontation that you can pull off if you got yourself some other figures. Back to the front. Now, this is definitely the biggest box of the bunch. The other two are a little bit smaller, but it makes sense because Blackbeard himself is substantial. Well, substantially, he is a bit bigger than the other two. So, you know, you're paying a little bit more, getting a bigger figure though, so it all balances out in the end. Alright, and the last figure is Martial D. Teach, otherwise known as Blackbeard. This is my favorite figure of the 3 that Bluefin sent us. The reasons why are the details. Although, you know, Luffy and Shanks have nice little things about it that are nice, really, you know, Blackbeard has way more interesting designs on him. I mean, he has all of the rings on his fingers, which you'll see in the photos. He has his bottle of liquor that's tucked into his sash, his pistols. He's got his jewels. I mean, if you're a pirate, you gotta always have some jewels on you. Got the little gun there, the designs on his pants. Again, you'll see in the photos. And just the expression on his face. And, you know, while Luffy and Shanks have, you know, their typical cocky expressions, I mean, you really get the feeling of menace here. Like, you know, Blackbeard is somebody to take very, very seriously. One thing you may want to watch out for is that when you're looking at the figure, it looks off balance. You know, we'll give it a nice little spin here. You'll see that it kind of maybe sort of looks like it's going to tip over, but so far it hasn't tipped over. I've put it through its paces and it hasn't toppled as of yet. You'll notice that he also, like the other two, has a coat of his own, and it's removable. But luckily, it's way easier removed than, you know, having to take a head off or anything. All you got to do is take it off like so. Now, this ease is also balanced by the fact that it's very easy to topple. So you just put it back on, and if you get up, there you go. See? It'll just come off. So you have to balance it a little bit better, but, you know, I guess if you want to pose them without it, you take it off. Again, I wouldn't know why you would, but we'll get them back looking at the camera. although he's my favorite, there are a couple things that bother me. The inconsistency in the paint from his arms up to his chest and the very obvious seam lines right here are a little bit of a distraction. But if you put on the coat, they're still there, but it's it's easier to kind of ignore if he's dressed like he's supposed to. A little bit of a pain here. There we go, get it balanced. Well, whatever. Looks like he's going without the coat for the rest of this review. The figure comes with a stand of some sort, which more than likely would be going in a notch in the back, probably here, but I haven't figured out how to use it properly to keep the coat from toppling over. See, a little piece of plastic. It's doesn't look like it's going to be holding much, but I guess something is better than nothing. And give one more view here. He is the most expensive of the bunch. He is 3,000 yen, which is about maybe $32, $33. Sites that do have him in stock still have him cheaper, but I still say, despite some of the little more problematic elements, he is definitely worth the scratch. His Portrait of Pirates is long sold out, and as he becomes a more major villain in the show, expect to see his merch up and disappear. So, you got the chance, you should get him. ミックスの酒を届けに行くよ海風気任せ波任せ